Hey everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a DIY for how to get the faux stone pottery type pieces on these thrifted items. Some of you requested that I show you how to do this process when you saw this lamp in my thrifted video as well as my entryway makeover video. Those pieces that we see are super beautiful, but they are expensive. So I'm going to show you how to get a similar look for a lot less money. In today's video, I'm going to show you primarily two different ways, as well as what the pieces look like when they're sealed versus when they're not, and lots of tips and tricks that I have picked up on the way. So let's go ahead and get into this video. First step to get our pieces prepared for this DIY is to make sure that we wash them. On a piece like this, especially where it's very smooth glass, we want to make sure we get any oils or dirt off of it because that will prevent our paint from sticking. To get started, I'm just going to go ahead and give each of our pieces a base coat of spray paint. For the most part, I will stick with the color of spray paint that is going to match the general color of the piece once I do the DIY, but it's not always important as ultimately this is going to get covered up anyway. On this piece, I really loved that burnt red color, but I did not love the yellowy green base, so I'm just taking some dark brown spray paint and going around the bottom. It's okay if a little bit gets on the top. Again, this is just our base layer, and I really want to use these dark browns and burnt reds for inspiration for this piece. Our base layers are done, so we're just going to go ahead and let these pieces dry overnight. Alright, it is the next day. I am here with all of our vessels and plenty of paint supplies. The first thing we're going to do is start with this little vase, and my first tip for you is you need to let your base layer dry 100% completely before we start adding layers and texture. If you don't, your base paint is just going to come off, and that defeats the purpose of a base layer to begin with. So that is my first tip for you, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start with the easiest method, which is just baking soda and paint. When it comes to the ratio of paint and baking soda, I really just eyeball it. You can start to mix it, and ultimately what you want is a very thick, almost chunky pancake batter. It should not be runny at all. Now this little vase is really easy to start with because this has its own texture already. I'm just going to go ahead and take our mixture and start painting over it. You're going to see that the paint is going to kind of skip over some of the spots where the texture is. I think that's going to naturally create a really great look to the piece by not totally filling in and almost looking like there's little holes in it. So here is our first layer done, and I honestly think it's off to a great start. Like I said, it's giving natural texture to begin with. For our lamp, I'm just starting off with the same mixture. However, I'm just doing it with black paint because that's the color I want the base of this piece. Now, it is a little tricky to show you guys black on black, so I know it's a little bit hard to see, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this base layer on quickly. So here is what our lamp looks like with the base layer of texture on it. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on to our larger vase, and I don't know if you could tell on camera, but this vase has kind of a natural texture itself. It's not the same as our first little vase, but the paint is going to stick really well and really easily to this vase, so I'm just mixing up a dark brown base, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting that on. I'm going to basically stipple the paint on, and that is going to create a lot of wonderful texture. When you kind of stipple thick paint on, it basically doesn't settle and lay flat, so this is really going to kind of coagulate together and again just create some really beautiful texture. One thing to keep in mind is that this is all really a creative process, so whatever colors you choose, however many layers you do, that is entirely up to you. I know that I want my pieces to be a little bit darker, so if you like that look, you can kind of follow the same process as me. However, later in this video, I'll show you how to lighten up your pieces a little bit if you prefer that. Here is just a quick close-up of our piece so far. A lot of great texture in here and some great variation in color. Alright, now while those pieces are drying, I'm going to show you the second kind of base primary way to get this look, and that is with our friend joint compound. Now I've got some disposable gloves here. You can absolutely use a paintbrush to apply the joint compound to your piece, but I am going to use my hands because I really kind of want to sculpt the joint compound onto our little vase here the way that I want it. I have used a paintbrush before. The main difference that you would probably have is the paintbrush might kind of leave strokes on it, and I don't want that, so that's why I'm going to get some disposable gloves on and use my hands. A tip for you when working with the joint compound is to just make sure you do it in somewhat thin layers. Now I'm only going to do one layer today, but if you would choose to do multiple layers especially, you just want to make sure that you're doing it in thin layers. This is not something you want to pile on in super thick layers. It makes it easier to crack off that way, so just make sure you're doing thin layers. Okay, sorry about that. We're back. My memory card actually filled up and I had to swap it out, but I got a really light base layer of joint compound on here, and do not worry if there is like some unevenness. That is totally fine. Also, you're not going to worry if your base layer is different color than your joint compound. That doesn't matter. So now we're just going to go ahead and let that dry. Here I'm going back to our lamp, and I am switching between stippling with our black and our brown mixture. Now, I am just going back and forth between the two of them, and when you're switching out your colors and kind of blending them together, that is what creates that natural aged look. Typically, pieces do not age in a really uniform way, so you're going to see spots that are a little more aged and look a little bit of a different color on naturally aging pieces. It's a little bit tough to see, but up close you can see the texture we're creating and the variation in color. So now I'm just going back to our small white pot, and I'm just going to take some of that baking soda paint mixture, and I'm just going to go around and just kind of give it one final coat, and then this piece will probably be done. I know that it may be tough to see here because of how dark it is, but I'm basically going in with some deep burnt red paint and just kind of stippling over it to give this piece a little bit more depth. If I'm feeling like my piece is looking too dark and I want to add a highlight, I will take a little dot of light paint and then just kind of stipple over it with my brush. I didn't add any additional paint to my brush, I just kind of used what was there and just lightly diffused the lighter paint. Hi guys, we're back. It's the next day. I think 2 out of 4 of our pieces are pretty much done. This piece has just got incredible texture on it. The color variance is really beautiful. I know I want this to stay really a darker piece, so I think this is done. Our little baby white pot is done. So we really just have to finish off the lamp and then this. This is our joint compound vase that we let dry overnight. And the awesome thing about this is if you have too much texture in an area, or maybe there's a little bit of a glop that hardened, you can take a sanding pad and just lightly sand it down. This is all about creativity and preference. So if you want loads of texture, you can leave it. If you want your piece a little bit smoother, you can sand it down. It's totally up to you. And that's one of the things I love about these DIYs. You can really just make it your own and do whatever you like. So I'm just going to quickly spray paint this off camera, and in the meantime, we're gonna get back to the lamp. Another way that I add color variation is by dipping just the tip of my brush into light colored paint and then into dark colored paint, and then I just very gently touch the tip of the bristles to the piece, and this just deposits little bits of that very light color. You can see here where that lighter paint is, and I'm just gonna take my brush and kind of go into different areas of the piece, and again, just very, very lightly dab or kind of brush that light paint into different areas. You want to make sure you don't forget about the top of the piece as well as towards the bottom. Here is a close-up look of our lamp. I think we are pretty much done with this, so we're just gonna go ahead and let it dry. You can see those little brighter spots of paint and the texture that we were able to achieve on this piece. All right, so while our lamp is now drying, I brought this pot back up from the basement. You can see I did not fully saturate the spray paint. This is a super light coat over it because I wanted there to be some variance in the color. I did do it a little bit darker at the bottom. Sometimes you will see pots just tend to hold their color a little bit better at the bottom, and that they age kind of here up top more. So I did it that way. We're gonna get our paint going and we're gonna start working on this one. For this vase, I'm just gonna go ahead and start on the bottom with some dark brown paint and just go around and kind of stipple that on there. To avoid the piece having kind of a color blocked look, I make sure that I take that same dark paint and just put it in other areas around the pot. You can see that here I'm doing the edge as well as kind of up here towards the top. Now here is where I'm going to go in with some light paint and really start do some blending. I know that sometimes when you're initially working on these pieces, they can look not very cute, but you just really have to trust the process and trust that the layering of paint is going to work out. Now, when I have a lot of paint on my brush, I just kind of go around and stipple it into different areas and just use up the paint that I have on the brush. I don't want to continuously keep going back in and globbing paint on. And then here you'll just see that I'm switching out between light paint and dark paint and just kind of doing that stippling motion over and over it. Here you can kind of see how the colors are starting to blend together a little bit, and again, it's totally up to you how blended or not blended you want your piece to look, but if you want it more blended, you'll just continue to stipple over and over. I decided to lightly seal the lamp, but I'm going to put up an image here so you could see what a sealed piece looks like. You can kind of see that sheen on it as you move back and forth. And then I'm going to show you this other piece that has not been sealed. As you move back and forth, you can see that there is not any type of glare on it. So that's the difference in what the pieces look like when they are sealed versus what they are not sealed. All right, you guys, our pieces are done. I have a bit of a mess to clean up here, but I'm really excited to show you the pieces, how they came out, how they're styled. Let's just pop up a picture here quick so we can look back at the before to see what we were working with. These thrifted finds were really cute on their own, but I love a good DIY and what that can do for a piece. So let's go ahead and show you how our pieces came out.